Hi, this is Jeff Hall again, and I'm going to do a review for an album I've been wanting to review for a while, let alone a band, and that is Canadian industrial act Skinny Puppy, and that is the album Mind, the Perpetual Intercourse, 1986. Interesting album name. Um, this is like, there was early EBM like Cabaret Voltaire and Throbbing Gristle, and early new wave like Human League and stuff, and Kraftwerk. And I think what Skinny Puppy did is they fine-tuned a lot of those ideas and just made it this really almost purified, heavy form of it. And they did a really good job with that. And Skinny Puppy for a while and now was Zevon Key and Ogre. And on this album they would get Gotel doing um, guitars for as a guest. He would later become a full-time member, and he died like a while later on after the Last Rites album was released, which was supposed to be the last album. But this was like one of the first albums he guest guitared on, if not the first album. I believe it's the first album he guested on or was featured on. And it's one of my favorite Skinny Puppy albums. It's tied up there with Bites. Yeah, I think I like Bites a little bit better just because some of the instrumentals and songs tend to go a little longer than I'd like, whereas on Bites, they don't go too long. They're a really good length. Other than that, this is still a perfect album. I give it 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Let's go over some of these tracks. One Time, One Place is a very good opener track. It's a very good way to start an album. One thing I kind of like about this album better than Bites is it's a lot less instrumentals. There's a lot more songs where there's vocals going on, and I like that much about it. Uh, God's Gift Maggot is another great song. It's really heavy, heavy vocals. Uh, Three Blind Mice is really interesting. Love is an instrumental, but it's short. I like that part about it, but it doesn't go too long, it doesn't go too short, it does what it needs to do. Stairs and Flowers is a little long and a little fuzzy. I prefer, which this album comes with, and I'll tell you about that. I prefer the Stairs and Flowers dub mix, which is featured on the Chainsaw EP. And this album comes with the Chainsaw EP. Like after Burnt with Water, you have Chainsaw Addiction. This album, I mean the EP's version of Addiction, Stairs and Flowers dub, and Deep Down Trauma Hounds, which is this album's version of Deep Down Trauma Hounds. And Addiction and Deep Down Trauma Hounds would later be released on, I think it was called Cleanse, Fold, and Manipulate. Yeah, that came out in 1987, the year after this. Where was I at? Antagonism's really, really good. It's got really good keyboards. 200 Years. There's this episode of Twilight Zone. I think it's called Elegy, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a part where it says, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with everybody in this crazy place? Can't you talk? Move? Answer me!" And that's from that episode, which is a weird episode of Twilight Zone where these astronauts go on a planet and everybody's still. Like the farmer's still, the beauty pageant girl is still, everybody's just still. They can't move and they don't know why. It's a really good episode. It's featured on Netflix if you have Netflix. I'd recommend you watch it any way you can get to watch it, YouTube or whatever. But I know it's on Netflix for sure. And that episode is featured in the next song, Dig It. Whereas they have another voice sample from that episode where it says, "The band, the music, can you hear it? Somebody's here," or something like that. And that's what's playing right now, Dig It. That was the first Skinny Puppy song I heard. And I was just like, whoa, this is really cool. This is way better than Nine Inch Nails. This is what I would think when I hear industrial. I think, oh, this is really how you do it. It was awesome. And I had to buy this album after I heard that. And that's what got me really into Skinny Puppy was Dig It. Uh, I ironically watched that music video on a Hair Nation VH1 hair metal pansy, makeup-y, glittery, girly pop hair metal ballads hour. I don't know why he decided to randomly play Skinny Puppy. I guess he got bored of hair metal and he wanted to do something different. And that was Eddie Trunk that did that, which I thought it was cool. Though I'm like, all right, something different. But yeah, it was way different because it's Skinny Puppy. It's a dramatic leap from hair metal for sure. Uh, Let me see. Burnt with Water is not too bad, but that's an example of what I was saying with a long instrumental. It goes on a little longer than I would like. And Chainsaw EP, that's after the actual album, and it's added, included on here. Uh, Chainsaw is really good. It's got chainsaw, rev action, sound effects, that's kind of cool. Addictions, pretty hazy on here. It's kind of hard to understand. I prefer it on Cleanse, Fold, and Manipulate. Stairs and Flowers dub, I prefer to the album version. You get both on here though, so whatever you prefer, you get both versions. Listen to whatever you want. Deep Down Trauma Hounds on here is way, way better than the one on Cleanse, Fold, and Manipulate. It's also got a lot of cooler voice samples. There's one that sounds like Vincent Price saying, "There's a rat loose in the cat food jar," or somebody saying that. And there's another good one that says, "Don't send a monster to do the evil work of, no, to do the work of an evil scientist." It's just got a lot of better voice samples. It's done way better. The music's way better. The vocals are way better. I prefer on this EP that's included here than on Cleanse, Fold, and Manipulate. As far as the album goes, though, it's a perfect album. I like it. I would have wore a shirt because I had the Dig It Skinny Puppy shirt, but I got torn up. Maybe I'll get it sewn together and do another album review someday wearing that shirt. Hopefully, I don't know. But it's a good album. If you like industrial, early EBM, heavy industrial, dark alternative, then this album is definitely for you. If you like Cabaret Voltaire's 2x45, which I hope I review that album soon, this album's for you. It's really, it is what it is. It's good. If you like heavy industrial, get it. It's one of the best industrial albums ever. They influenced, Skinny Puppy influenced a lot of people. Frontline Assembly, I think, was influenced by them. Nine Inch Nails were influenced by them. So yeah, they are very good industrial pioneers from Canada. And I hope you like my review for Skinny Puppy's Mind the Perpetual Intercourse, and that was Dig It, playing in the background.